Hey friends at Salem Lutheran, I'm using a new recording program, so tell us what you think. I had some sound issues with my other camera, so I hope this one works out better. I wish you a good 4th of July weekend coming up, and we got a few things going on. Outdoor worship is going to be at 9:30 here at the church, and hope that you can join us. Please abide by the regulations that we've set up to keep everyone safe. There's no secret that the COVID cases are increasing, and we just don't want you to be part of that statistic. So please join us at 9:30. We'll have grass marked off, and proper protocols will be in place. And Vacation Bible School will begin soon, and so we look forward to that. It's going to be a virtual Vacation Bible School this year. Please register online. That's all set up for you on our website, and Michelle has been sending those out in regular email blasts as well. And thank you for all those who donated toys, and the toy collection is completed. So thank you very much for that. But we do continue to collect change in our program to help feed those in our neighborhoods. We went to Loaves and Fishes. We're going to Second Harvest Heartland now to try to help them. I know they're in dire need, and there's a lot of food insecurity right now due to COVID and the unrest that we've had in our community as well. So we're preparing for 4th of July, and got to thinking about the civics. Maybe it's a good time for a civics lesson to understand, the principles behind the Bill of Rights and our Constitution, and to understand that. I think about how when we were children, we used to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I know that created some issues because it says under God, but nonetheless, there was one thing that the flag stood for, and it was spoken at the end of that: for liberty and justice for all. And so, I think that that's a reminder of what our flag stands for, what our country stands for. And those are based upon the egalitarian principles of Christianity. Until Christianity came along, people were considered in their status or their class and could not move about in that. And the sense that our country captured that and created our Constitution out of that is very important. And I also think that how the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, works even today. We've had Abraham Lincoln, who reimagined our Constitution, and we also had Martin Luther King Jr. again reimagine the Constitution and what it means to us today. I hear a lot of things bantered about constitutional rights. I saw the guy yelling and screaming outside of the grocery store because he said forcing him to wear a mask was against his constitutional right, which anybody who's read the Constitution understands that has nothing to do with the constitutional right, or privilege, for that matter. For I don't know how long we've had our stores that say no shirt, no shoes, no service. And nobody has screamed and ran into stores wearing bare feet and saying, that's my constitutional right. So it's important to understand, what our rights are, and particularly in the Bill of Rights. And I go back to the whole notion that is built around our Christian principles, especially when Martin Luther talks in his catechism about the Ten Commandments. It is a concern for our neighbor. We are here to serve our neighbor and help our neighbor, and I think too often we get into the legalities of constitutional rights or Bill of Rights, when in fact I remember when the moral majority was around, we talked about how you cannot legislate morality. And I guess that's true to a certain point. You can legislate ethics, though, and how we act in that. You can't make somebody not be racist, for instance. However, you can draw lines around that in terms of how discrimination and prejudice work in our country. So to go back to Luther and the Catechism, I think it's very important to see how he looks at the neighbor. And I think that in the whole notion of the Constitution and Bill of Rights also looks at the neighbor. And so I have pull out my trusty little small catechism, and I think it's insightful that Luther takes the Ten Commandments and doesn't create new laws out of them, but creates new opportunities, gospel opportunities for our neighbor. For instance, I think this is the prayer version, but this is Luther's small catechism. In the seventh commandment, you shall not steal. You all know that one very well. And Luther would say, O God, you command us not to steal. May we so fear and love you that we do not take our neighbor's money or property or get them in any dishonest way. And here's the kicker. He said, but help him or her, we'll update the language here, to improve and protect their property and means of making a living. And I think that's a crucial difference. It's not just about the law and legislating the law, but we're called to the gospel to do more than just serve the law, but to serve Jesus through serving our neighbor. And so with this weekend coming up, 4th of July, I wish you a blessed weekend. I hope you find rest and goodness. I will be out of the office next week, so there will not be any messages coming from me, but I'll be back in the following week, and we'll start up with that again. So I wish you a blessed week, and pray for your health and safety during this time.